God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. My name's David. My wife and I have set up a pretty successful FBA business that we've been doing via retail arbitrage for a couple of years now. Going well, getting the bills paid and everything, but we're interested in moving into private label. Now, I have a completely separate entity that is a brand that I run, where I run a blog and a podcast, and it has nothing to do with that particular business. But I'm also trying to monetize that brand. So naturally, I'm starting to think of things that I can sell for that brand and how I can kind of make my businesses work together so that if I'm selling physical products, I can do that through the FBA channel, but sell them to the audience that I've already built. So my question is, let's say, and I'm just going to make a hypothetical scenario here because garlic press doesn't really work for this. Let's say that I have a huge audience of video gamers, and I've got a good email list and all that kind of stuff, but I want to start selling a product like a custom controller. I've convinced my audience that, the PlayStation 4 controller is great, but if only there were some buttons rearranged in this certain way, it would be way better. How do I go about selling products like that, and is it worth it to market through that separate channel? If that makes sense? In other words, can I go to the manufacturer through Alibaba or whatever when they offer these OEM services? How far does that go? Is that just branding and packaging and logos and stuff like that, or will they actually customize a product if I say I want this button here and this button here? Is there any wiggle room like that for some of these manufacturers? And if not, how do I go about that? Thank you very much. Bye.
Hey, David. What's up, man? Thank you so much for the question, and congratulations on your success with FBA, retail arbing, and all of that stuff. And, I hear a lot of people say, like, retail arb is dead. You can't really make money doing it anymore. And I hear a lot of people that are still having success with that. Anyone out there listening right now that's thinking to themselves, like, I don't have enough money to get started in private labeling, listen to what David just said, right? A pretty successful FBA business, paying the bills. It is work. It is a job, but it's possible. So no excuses, no excuses. This is a show for no excuses, all right? All right, so David, you're in a very unique situation, and I love it, by the way. Man, when I was listening to your question, I got kind of excited because I just start getting all these ideas on what you can do because you have the audience already. That's the key. We're usually working towards that. You're already there. Now, all of a sudden, you just have to tap in to that market that you're sharing. And I think your example of the controller in the video gaming market is a beautiful example. I understand it totally, completely. Let me just say, first off, you're on the gold, man. You're on the gold. This is, like I said, this is a great situation for anyone listening. If you have a digital product or a digital platform where, and I mean digital, like if you have a podcast, if you have a blog that's popular. I actually have someone that I met recently that has a blog, very successful blog, gets probably close to 50 to 75,000, maybe even more visitors a month to the blog, building an email list, been doing that for 8 years, has no physical product of their own, has no digital product of their own. Well, guess what? I got excited. I'm like, this is what you need to do. Boom, 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 right? Well, a few things that I recommended to that person, and I'm going to recommend to you, David. First thing is understand what your market wants. Well, how do you do that? You ask them. All right. So you have a podcast. I would put it out there. Hey, I am right now, thinking about this 1 or 2 or 3 different products that we're going to be creating our own version of because there's a lot of them on the market, but they're flawed. They don't have this. They don't have that. I want your guys' feedback. Can you guys go over to xyz.com/ poll or survey or whatever and give me your feedback on that. And then go to surveymonkey.com and create a nice short little survey, or you can use Google or your Google Docs. They have a thing in there where you can make a survey there. I've used that. It works great. And then just have people start to vote on it. right? And then start to become part of that process. And then they can help build those products with you or that product. And then guess what? You start to show them screenshots of the progress. You start to ask them about graphics for a certain cover that you're making for that product. And then you say to them, oh, we're almost done. Actually, here's some pictures from the manufacturer that they sent me last week. They're on the product line, or they're on the production line. I'm really excited about this. You can ask about, have them give you feedback on names that you're thinking about using, different packaging, and then they become vested in it. And you might even want to get an email list together from your list. So make a sub list of your main list and say, hey, I want to go ahead and get your feedback and your help on creating this brand new controller that we're thinking about doing. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let you guys get it for half off once we launch. All I need you to do though is just go over to this page and request that you want to be in this group. So this way here, you can help us with this and I'm not going to be bugging everyone else, right? Now these people feel more special because they're part of this exclusive insiders group. And then from there, you start to get all of this information. You might even want to jump on Skype with some of these people and say, hey, what exactly do you want to do? And, I've also heard people say, well, if I do that, won't people in my audience do what I'm doing? The answer is probably not, because it's not going to be that easy. And most people don't understand about private labeling or even affiliate marketing for that matter, right? So I think that you're definitely sitting on a gold mine, and you should be tapping into that market. You absolutely should be tapping into that market. I'm actually going to be doing a podcast soon about this topic, about if you are a listener and if you've been doing affiliate marketing or if you've been doing any type of, blogging or YouTubing or building an audience of any kind in a certain niche. There's a ton of opportunity for you. There's opportunities for you to be able to cross promote with a physical product. And then the other thing, if let's say that you're a physical product owner right now and you're not in the digital world, well, guess what? You can enter into the digital world by creating useful products that help people use those other products, right? You can create ebooks, you can create little courses, all of that stuff. So there's so much that we can do, and I can go on here for hours, but hopefully I gave you some feedback, and I think by the excitement, I think it's a go. And the other question you asked was, will the manufacturer actually modify your product? And the answer is yes. You can say to the manufacturer, I want the button to be red and I want it to go in the left-hand corner, and you can draw up a schematic of what you want, and then they're going to go back and forth with you with different iterations of it. But the thing is, when you do create that custom product, it is going to cost you more upfront because they're going to have to make a certain mold or a certain template for that, in a sense. And then from there, that's going to be the upfront cost. It's almost like when you get t-shirts done and they charge you for that setup of the screen to have it made or the plate. And then from there, after that, the runs are just basically whatever the run is, what it costs. So dude, man, I think you're on it. I think this is a great opportunity for you or anyone else listening. Keep me posted on that, and drop me an email and let me know a little bit more in detail. Even if privately you wanted to do that, I'd love to hear the direction that you're moving towards. And of course, if I can give any assistance, by all means, I would love to. And again, I can always report back to everyone that's listening and say, hey, this is what this one person is dealing with. This is what they're doing, and this is what I'm advising. And then we can kind of see how it goes. So definitely do that. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.